All right, boys and girls, I think you'll find this lesson easier than yesterday's lesson, at least for a little while, which is nice. Okay, so we're going to be combining like terms still. I know you can see that right there, combining like terms. Let's read through this problem and get started. It says, a student received a coupon for 19% off the total purchase price at a clothing store. Let Y be the original price, Y is the original price, and use the expression below for the new price. Write an equivalent expression by combining like terms. So we know how to do this. First of all, can you tell me what number is sitting right here in front of the Y? You got it, it's 1. So this is 1Y, take away 0.19Y. So all we have to do is do a little subtraction. We have 1, which is the same as 1.00, and then we have 0.19. Remember, for subtraction and addition, decimals have to line up vertically. They have to be in a line. Okay, so 0 can't take away 9, but 10 can. We had to borrow from the 0 to make it 10, which means we need to borrow from the 1 and make it 0. 10 minus 1 is 9. But we had to, oh, no, I made a mistake, didn't I? We had to borrow from that 10 to make it 9, so we could make the 0 10. Okay, so 9 minus 1 is 8, and 0 minus 0 is 0. So we have 0.81, and then since both terms have y in them, they're like terms, and so that means 0.81y. You guys know how to do that. Moving on, similar kind of problem. Let's read through it together. Soledad buys boxes of crackers that each has the same cost C, so all the crackers cost the same. Says she represents the cost of 6 boxes of cheese crackers, so 6 of cheese, 2 of poppy seed, and 2 of plain, using the expression 6C plus 2C plus 2C. So it doesn't matter what kind of cracker she's buying, they're all the same price. That's why we can give them the same variable. What equivalent expression can represent the cost? Well, if we add up 6C plus 2C plus 2C, 6C plus 2C plus 2C, just add up the coefficients, 6 plus 2 plus 2, 6 plus 2 plus 2 is 10. And since they're all like terms, they all have the same variable C, the answer is, you got it, 10C. Now let's make sure that no other expressions work, and they don't, so that's the only answer. Here we go with a new problem. It says, a farmer recently sold a large plot of land. The sale decreased his total acreage by 3%. Let V be the original acreage. Find 2 equivalent expressions that will give the new acreage. Use pencil and paper. Use the expressions to describe 2 ways to find the new acreage. Okay, which 2 expressions will give the new acreage? Okay, so we're looking for 2 answers. Do you see that? 2 answers. So, how are we going to start this one? Remember, what is the original acreage? That's V. Okay, now it decreased by 3%, right? So, if we take the original acreage and decrease it by 3%, remember how to make percentage into a decimal, you move the decimal backwards 2 places, so 3% becomes 0.03. But you can't just leave it like that, because the 0.03 is 3% of V, 3% of the original acreage. So you take the original acreage, and you subtract this much of the acreage. And remember, of is multiplication. So that's the expression, that what's one of them. So we can see clearly that one of our answers is going to be C. Now, I bet if you work this out, you could subtract them. So we'll do the same thing we did last time. We will take 1, V, we'll take that number 1, and we will make it a decimal, and then we'll subtract 0.03. And you don't need to keep, well, if you like to borrow and do all that, that's fine, but you can just see that 100 take away 3 is 97. And so remember, this is V, so it's 0.97 V, and I'm sure you can see the answer sitting over there, 0.97 V. Okay, I hope you're catching on to this, boys and girls. Let's go through this problem. It says an art teacher made a copy of a small painting. To make the painting easier to see, the teacher enlarged the area of the painting by 35%. So we have an enlargement by 35%. Let Y represent the area of the original painting. The expression below is one way to represent the area. Find two equivalent expressions. So this is one way to write it. Remember what we were talking about. We have 1y, which is the original, 1y plus 0.35y. That's the expansion part. This is the original, and there's the expansion. So we need to find out how to write this in an equivalent way. So if you take 1 and you add 0.35, you can see very clearly that you get 1.35. And since both of those terms are like terms because they both have the same variable y, then that's 1.35y. This is one of our answers. The other one's a little bit tricky to see, so A is one of our answers. The other one's a little tricky to see. Well, we know that y plus 35y is 36y, so that's not right. We know that D 135y, that's not right. And we know that just plain old 0.35y can't be the same as 1 plus 0.35y, so that's not right. So it must be C, but let's just look at y at C. When we multiply or we distribute this expression, you'll see that y times 1 is y, and then plus y times 0.35 is 0.35y. And that's the original expression. So that's why C is the other answer. Okay, next problem. We're over halfway done now. It says a student received coupon for 20% off, total purchase price. Let C be the original price. Use the expression below to find the new price. So write an equivalent expression that by combining like terms. So just like what we've been doing. How many C is this again? It's 1C minus 0.2C. So 1C minus 0.2. And you know 10 minus 2 is 8, so there you go, 0.8. And they're both like terms with the variable C. Do you see that? Of course you do. And so the answer is 0.8C. So easy. Okay, here we go. It says the manager of a store increases the price of a popular product by 8%. So keywords, increases by 8%. Let T be the original price. Okay, new price is T plus 0.08 T. So it's the original T, that's the original, and then the increase is 0.08 of, or times, the original. So 0.08 T. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to write an equivalent expression by combining like terms. Okay, let's do that first. We have 1, hey, my pen isn't working. There we go. Plus 0.08. And we know 100 plus 8 is 108. The decimal goes right in line, right straight down. So that's 1.08 T. That's an easy one. We know the answer is 1.08 T, just like that right there. Now the next part is just a slightly tricky, not bad though. It says choose the correct estimation. That's important that you understand that it's an estimation for the new price below. Well, we can't see all the answer choices on this screenshot for some reason. But to estimate it, well, look at what it says in the directions, by the way. It says estimate the new price by first rounding the original price to the nearest dollar. So this price right here, $22.99, if we round that to the nearest dollar, how much is that? That's 23. So 23 And that's t. So we are going to, based on this expression right here, we're going to multiply that by 1.08. So the answer has to be slightly more than 23, not too much more. So you'll see when you see the answer choices that this one right here is really the only one that is a good guess, because it's the only one that's slightly more than 23. So that's what an estimate is. You'll be happy to know, boys and girls, this is the last problem. It says, at a college, the cost of tuition, that's how much you have to pay to go, increased by 6%. Let X be, now look at this, be the former cost of tuition, so the original, just like it always is. Use the expression X, which is the original, plus 0.06X, that's the increase, for the new cost of tuition. Write an equivalent expression by combining like terms, just like we've been doing in all the other problems. Now, let's do that first. Okay, so we've got, if we take 1x, which is 1.00, and we add 0.06, and we add because the tuition increased, so that's 1.06. And since they're both like terms with x in them, see that right there, then the answer is 1.06x. Okay, now which answers have that? It looks like B is the only choice. You see that? Pretty simple. 1.06x, you multiply the former cost by 1.06. That's what you do. And that's it.